James Wiseman doesn't fit in Detroit in any facet of the imagination. I just think, obviously, Wiseman, pick number 2, 3 by the Warriors. Once upon a time, number 1 player out of Memphis. Didn't play a full season at the collegiate level, but yeah, Wiseman was just so good, projected to be such a great center, such a good back to the basket big, someone who can operate easily on the low block. He has a nice mid-range jump shot. He has good touch, and he can block shots. And obviously, he's a hell of an athlete, but I just don't think it's going to work very well in Detroit. I think they already have Isaiah Stewart, who's playing really well, even in the starting lineup or off the bench. And then Jalen Duran, no secret. And even Marvin Bagley, I would say he has his moments too. So I just can't see a world where I think Wiseman will have a bad NBA career. Not necessarily do I think he'll ever be one of the perennial bigs in this league. It's pretty hard to see, to be honest.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. We spoke about it last week with Davion Mitchell being drafted into the wrong situation and being put into a situation where maybe, he wasn't able to fully flourish. A guy like James Wiseman, I think it would have been maybe a better situation for him, as bad as this is to say, was to get into a situation where, they were losing a number of games, the team he went to, rather than going to a successful team where, the rotation was pretty, sorted before the season started, who was going to be in that starting lineup, who was going to obviously get key minutes. So for him, not getting that consistency and confidence, not only in his body, but in his form, game on game, probably hurt him early on in his career. And it's hard, like I said, we spoke about this as well. When you lose confidence early on in your career, it's hard to get that back. He showed glimpses from time to time in Detroit of what he can do and those flashes of brilliance and what made him such a highly touted prospect, not only coming out of high school going to Memphis, but obviously being a top 3 pick in the draft only 3 years ago. So like you said, I'm not going to give up on James Wiseman. I think he's got an electric skill set. He's got a long wingspan, can block shots. I think it's just about getting confidence, repetitions, getting all that, health back in his body that he needs to get. And once that all comes together, I think, he can definitely have a prosperous NBA career, whether it's to a star level or whether he reaches that potential that we once saw from him or once hoped from him. It's a different story. But I think in terms of, being able to play an important role on a team, I think he can definitely do that. So fingers crossed for James Wiseman and he can turn it around. But I think the Pistons is in the right place for him.
Yeah, 100%. And we saw, at his time at the Warriors, I remember that clip. Draymond's like, has he taken a bad shot? Has he missed one? Have I? So has he. Don't get down on yourself. I do think he had the right vets around him. To me, he's honestly, his skill set, it's like a Derek Lively with a shot. So he's obviously valued.
But even a guy like DeAndre Ayton to an extent, I think, DeAndre Ayton being thrown in as the starting center right away in Phoenix, although he didn't, again, even live up to his potential to some extent, he did get more exposure early on and, got a lot more minutes and a lot more confidence instilled in him. Obviously, how that tenure ended in Phoenix is a different story, but I think on a whole, that's a similar kind of skill set, a 7'1" center with, long arms, explosive, can block shots, and obviously has, like I said, a versatile offensive skill set. So I think DeAndre Ayton's probably his closest comparison, but I like the Derek Lively comparison as well. But I think, he just has to get confidence back, and I think it's a matter of no time before James Wiseman can start to impact games at the NBA level. But yeah, again, how long he stays in Detroit and how long he's in basketball purgatory, is my favorite saying, is a different story, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Hello, yes, you at home. This is Commissioner of the NBA speaking to you, Adam Silver. Here's a message in courtesy of BenchMob in collaboration with the NBA Store. When BenchMob hits 1,000 subscribers, they'll be giving away a free NBA jersey to a lucky subscriber